The Unified Command released some new video for us this morning of that move of that gigantic Francis Scott Key bridge truss over the weekend that I had showed you in my previous video. So I want to show you some of the scenes that they've given us. We are also going to look into what's going on with all of these cargo containers that are just sitting there on top of the Dali ship. This seems to be our number one question that I've been getting since this whole thing began as to what's happening and why are they removing all of this road debris off of the ship, but yet it doesn't seem to be they're doing anything with the containers. So what's happening with that? You might recall that on my video that I uploaded over the weekend, I showed you here how they moved that giant section of truss that was estimated to be about 500 tons or so. This is video that was shot by Captain Andy from the Menorcan Mullet channel, as I've showed you many times in the past. I'll put a link to it in the video description below. You got to go check out his channel. He puts out a lot of great live streams and then later on uploads it in 4K as well for much better resolution. The Unified Command had lifted the drone ban, so he was able to get in there. And then here's some of the other view that I showed from the Streamtime live cam as they moved that big bridge truss. But now here, let's take a look at what the Unified Command gave us this morning with the close-up shots. So, of course, the Unified Command has their own photographers and everything close up, right smack dab, front and center. Now look at the size of the guys in that little boat there and compare that to the height of the truss. We suspect this truss was probably close to 150 feet tall. And remember, a lot of it's still underwater. It hasn't even been fully raised yet. So see the lines on the right-hand side leading to the crane from there? Those are to help stabilize it, because once it's hanging from the crane, you want those two lines on the right there to be in tension so that the bridge truss will not sway in the wind. And as I showed on the video over the weekend, yeah, they did a really great job with that. I couldn't even see it swaying at all. So right now you can see it slowly rising up out of the water. It looks like about an inch per second. Very painstakingly slow, but just focus on those rivets on the left side of the bridge truss, right at the bottom where they meet the water. You can see how it's just very slowly but surely coming up, and this is how they do it. It just takes forever. And you have to have the patience of Job, really, to pull something off like this. Just sit there like this. I know I couldn't do it. I'd be going nuts myself. But again, look how small those guys are in that boat on the right-hand side of the truss compared to the actual height of this truss. So originally it looked like they were going to pull this whole piece up, but then they ended up having to make some slices here and there because it was stuck for a couple of days. They kept trying to pull on it, trying to get it up out of the mud. And even you'll see this morning here, when they did this, this was on Saturday morning, they were still finding themselves using the torches to cut off certain members there to separate it from that piece behind it. Otherwise, I think they could have moved this entire piece together if the thing had come up. They have transported some wildly misshaped pieces up until now. In the past, they've done a few of these. And so it would have been, I think, pretty easy, but it was just something about that other piece back behind it. It was just stuck in the mud. They couldn't get it to come out. You can see they're torching it. See, they just torched off another large piece. They're just doing everything they can now to separate it. It would have been nice to really see them pull that whole thing up there. But so here it is up and out of the water. Nice and close up. So there's the piece behind it. See, just to the left behind the truss. That's what they ended up having to leave. And even I didn't notice it on Saturday. I guess the angle that we were looking at from the Streamtime live camera as they began to move it, you really couldn't see it. And maybe the other barges were blocking the view. But here you can see that it actually is a reasonably substantial piece that's still left in the water. And in fact, even the news people were reporting, hey, you know, this is the last truss piece that was pulled up. But it really wasn't. Unless you had a really good view or somebody knew something and told you, you really didn't know that that little piece was left behind. You just could not see it that clearly from the Streamtime live camera. But watching it from this view and you know, just look at the height of that. Remember, I believe the crane here on the Chessie 1000 is something like 275 feet tall, if I remember correctly. I have to go back and check. And look at that Coast Guard cutter. That looks gorgeous, man, going by there. But anyway, if that crane is 275 feet tall, look how tall that bridge truss is compared to the overall height of that crane. It's a lot bigger than it looks. And compare it to the remaining bridge roadway on the left. It's just very, very tall. And it pretty much dwarfs many of the other regular-sized cranes that have been around here. And so there they are. They're turning it into place and getting ready to transport it over to Sparrow Point. And in the background, if you just saw on the right-hand side, they were just dropping that ball. So they're still working with the wrecking ball on all of the other sections of the roadway that are underwater in the shallower parts of the channel. And so there it is starting to go. It looks to be about 10 to 15 feet above the water. And I'm glad they finally released this video, because what we showed you the other day was basically shot from the Streamtime Live camera, which is probably about 3 miles away. And, you know, when they zoom in, you tend to lose the resolution. But at least here, you can see everything crystal clear. You can see all of the dimensions. You can see the height off of the water that this is. See those tension lines there from the bow of the barge right there, leading right up to the middle of the truss. Notice how they are in tension, and it's just not moving. See how it's keeping that entire bridge truss from swaying. And keep in mind, there was a little bit of wind out that day, too. So between the tension of it hanging from all of those cables, and then having those tension cables leading from the barge to the actual truss, that really kept it stable. And they just steered it right into place. So this is video that we haven't really seen up until now from the move on Saturday, because it just got released a couple of hours ago. And so we never really got a good super duper close-up shot like this of it coming up the channel into Sparrow Point. Now here on Captain Andy's channel, he showed us a great high-speed video of every time they tried to lift up the bridge, they found something that was still stuck and they'd have to lower it back down again. And so that's what they did here. But it just shows you how deep it is. Remember, it's about 50 feet deep here at this point. And so you can see there's the water line. So watch how far they're pulling it up. And they're wiggling it, and they're going to take a look at it and see what's going on and see how much they can cut, if they need to cut anything. See, so there's still stuff underneath it, as you can see right along under there. See, as they lift up higher and higher. And it's probably entangled down below with some of the roadway. So if they can cut some of those, they'll be able to lift this piece up and out of there. See, they're going to put it back down now, and they're going to probably slice right through these. And kudos, man, to Captain Andy for getting this great shot. He had a much more stable camera position than the Unified Command, who was on the rocking boats. So now they're lifting it back up again. This looks like it's the final time. But what a great vantage point to be able to see it from this close, to see right up front row seat, folks, as to everything they had to keep going through in order to get this massive truss up and out of that water. And remember, it was basically 1/3 of that height was down under the water. And just look how easily it just turns everything around. And look, it looks like it's rock solid, like it's not even moving. And then here you could see the back end of the Chesapeake 1000 is ballasted to help offset some of that weight. So they fill some of the back ballast tanks underneath here so that it'll kind of lean back just a little bit. The number one question I've received from people watching my videos over the last couple of weeks is, why haven't they removed those cargo containers off of the Dali? Just one after another, like rapid fire. Everybody seems to have the same question. They're wondering, why are they all still sitting there? And why haven't they been removed yet? When are they going to be removed? Well, first of all, I doubt that the Unified Command has anything to do with it now. They haven't even given us any type of update on when they're going to be removed. And I believe the Unified Command right now is, their responsibility is the channel. Their responsibility is not removing containers off Dali. I believe that is the Dali's owner's responsibility. And we should probably wait for an update from them as to an accurate timeline of when the containers will be removed. But if you look at what they did when they moved Dali back over to the Seagirt terminal, you can see they placed it in this large unoccupied space between the gantry cranes that are normally used to remove shipping containers off of ships. And that is most likely because with all of the damage on there and they're trying to remove all of the debris, they probably don't want to risk clogging up and tying up the gantry cranes or having some additional mishap, like the ship sinking right there. That would really be devastating. So they have it off to the side where it's not in the way, and they're probably waiting till they can get all of the loose debris off of there so that it's reasonably safe. Then they could potentially push the Dali ship back over in front of the white gantry cranes and have those remove the shipping containers. Now, you could, of course, bring in cranes and set them on the ground, regular ground-based cranes. That would be highly inefficient because keep in mind, you have over 4,000 containers on top of the Dali ship right now. Now, here on this channel, we do more than just engineering disasters. We do the Home Depot and Costco and Lowe's walkthroughs, and we also do the big DIY projects for your house. And after this video, make sure you check out this one over here of the double-decker cabinets that I did up in that kitchen. That's an incredible engineering project with a refrigerator, a large refrigerator at a 45-degree angle in the corner. Very difficult project. Check that one out. And then when you're done with that one, make sure you check out this video here, which shows you everything you need to know on how to install laminate flooring in your house. Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you on the next one.